I'm Paige, 34 years old. I'm a full-time housewife, and recently my salaryman husband, my elementary school daughter Pauline, and we moved into this residential area. It seems like Pauline is enjoying the school that she just transferred to, and within 15 minutes by car, there's a park, shopping mall, amusement park, and a zoo, and it's a great environment for a family with a child. It's a really comfortable place to live. However, there was just one unfortunate thing that I really wish I could have been spared from. On one day in the evening, when I went to go grocery shopping in the evening, the mom and I left the gates of my house.
"Oh my, Miss Paige, nice to see you."
Shoot, there she is, Miss Sarah. This person was Miss Sarah, who lived in the house across the street. Hello, Miss Sarah. And actually, to be honest, I was a little bit... Well, no, if I'm being humble, I was extremely not fond of this woman, because all the time she's saying really rude things towards me.
"Miss Paige, once again today you are dressed like you're a peasant. T-shirts and jeans. I totally thought that maybe a burglar had come out of my neighbor's house. For a moment, that's what you looked like to me."
See, there it is. It's always like this. I don't think it affects this person in any way, regardless of what kind of clothing I decide to wear. Miss Sarah also had a daughter that was in the same class as Pauline, and her name was Sally. It wasn't just from me. Miss Sarah was also disliked by the other moms in the neighborhood because she was always looking down on them in regards to money. But in particular, she says terrible things to me. This residential area was pretty expensive, and there were quite a few large houses around. But the house that Miss Sarah lived in across the street was particularly big even with that. Her husband worked for a big company, and apparently he's also the son of the CEO of that company. However, my husband was also on the board of directors of a pretty big company, and we bought a pretty large piece of land and built a pretty large house there. And that's probably why she decided on her own to make me her enemy. Well, no matter what she says to me, I just come up with some random response and I brush her off. So I wasn't letting it bother me that much. But the thing was, unfortunately, one day an incident occurred that wouldn't let me just brush it off. One day on a Sunday, when my husband had to work on the weekend, Pauline and I decided to go to the shopping mall together. The two of us got into the car and we had been driving for a few minutes, but it was at that moment...
What? The sky is starting to look kind of suspicious.
You're right. Oh, I left a laundry out to dry outside, but I wonder if it'll be okay.
But the weather report said it was going to be sunny. Oh, I see thunderclouds. It might be better if we turn around and bring the laundry back inside.
The thunderclouds are a sign that it's definitely going to rain, so you're smart, Pauline, even though you're still in second grade.
I read it in a book that was in the library. Oh, look, it's starting to sprinkle rain. Mom, that means we should definitely go back.
And so we turned the car around and headed back towards home and parked the car in front of my house. I wasn't sure whether to put the car in the parking lot or not, but the road in front of our house was wide and we were only going to bring in the laundry. So with Pauline's help, the two of us rushed and brought in the laundry back into the house. However, a few minutes later, out of nowhere, we heard a huge crashing sound. We were shocked, and when Pauline and I headed towards the direction that the sound came from... What? To my shock, a luxury car had rammed into my car, and both my car and that luxury car were extremely damaged. The windows were also broken, and it was just a disaster. And then, at the next moment, the person that came storming out of the luxury car that rammed into my car was...
"Hey, what the hell were you thinking, parking your car in a place like this?"
Miss Sarah?
"Miss Paige, because of you, now our car has been damaged. I'm going to make sure that you pay for the cost of the repairs to this car now."
Excuse me? Wait a minute. This isn't a road that has prohibited parking, and this street is so wide. How did you cause such a flashy accident?
Shut up, all of this is all your fault, do you understand?
Huh? No matter what I said, Miss Sarah insisted that this was all my fault because I parked my car there and that I better pay for the cost of damages and repairs, and kept yelling at me. But then, perhaps because he heard Sarah's screaming voice echoing through the neighborhood, her husband Thomas came running out of the house across from us.
"Sarah, what on earth is going on? Oh no, shoot!"
"Honey, Miss Paige, because she had parked her car here, this is how all of this ended up this way."
"Sarah, You caused a huge car accident once before you were hospitalized, remember? How many times do you think this is happening? Even though I told you that time that you're so bad at driving, not to drive the car anymore.
She caused a huge accident and was hospitalized. I didn't know that happened. That's scary.
And also, what the hell have you done? This car is my favorite one out of the 3 cars that I have at home. Are you kidding me? This is enough.
Huh? But this isn't my fault. We definitely have to have Miss Page pay for the cost of repairs, or I'm not going to be able to let this go. Besides, this woman pisses me off on the daily basis.
What do you mean I piss you off? And the fact that you're telling me I have to pay for the repairs because of a reason like that? What kind of mind does this woman have? But also, Mr. Thomas, before he worries about his own car, isn't there something he should be saying to me? And it's not like he's even worried about Sarah. That's right, this Mr. Thomas seems like a person that might be problematic. So first, while the two of them were ignoring me, I decided to call the police. Eventually, the policeman finally arrived, but he looked at the footage from the camera on my car, and it was discovered that Miss Sarah's driving is the one that was crazy. In the past, Miss Sarah had crashed the car a few times or had parked illegally, and her license is actually suspended. After that, the two of them did come over to my house to apologize, but...
Sheesh, Sarah, you're always just causing me trouble. Here, this is the repair fees for your car. If it's not enough, please contact me later. Oh, do you mind giving me your contact information?
And so Thomas and I exchanged contact information. Sarah had probably already been yelled at intensely by Thomas because she was just standing there looking irritated. But then, not only that, but a few days later in the afternoon, maybe around the time that Pauline should be coming home from elementary school, as I was thinking that, I was preparing snacks for Pauline. The front doorbell rang, and when I looked at the monitor... Yes? Wait, what? In the phone monitor, there was an angry-looking Pauline and Sarah, and then Sally also standing there, crying. First, I want to go and open the front door, but then...
What the hell is wrong with your daughter?
Excuse me?
Out of nowhere, she came to my place and started yelling in my house, calling me unfair and evil and whatever else she wanted to say.
Excuse me? That's because this old lady told Sally to bully me and leave me out at school. You were giving her those unreasonable orders.
Huh? Sally, is that the truth? When I asked that, Sally looked at me and nodded her head yes, and then even more tears started streaming down her face.
Miss Sarah, that is not anything that any adult should be telling their kids to do, is it? I feel so sorry for Sally. Excuse me, I'm the one that you should be feeling sorry for. That little girl is like this, yelling nonsense at me. What kind of child raising are you doing?
Child raising? You're the kind of person that uses your own child as a tool to make yourself feel better. I don't want you to talk about child raising. I bet you were just mad that the police and your husband yelled at you for the accident, and you're trying to blame my mom for it, aren't you? Even though it's all completely your fault. But you're in the wrong playing field. Has that head always just been an accessory? Maybe it would be better if you had that head of yours repaired together with the car.
What? Hey, Pauline. There it is, Pauline's sharp tongue. Pauline always ends up saying what she wants to someone with no manners.
Oh, I see. That head of yours, old lady, isn't at the level that would get better with just a few repairs. Everything's already too late. Maybe it's better if you just destroy it and get rid of it. That unrepairable, useless head of yours.
With Pauline's sharp tongue, Sarah's face was bright red, and she was stomping on the ground, and she was furious. And then...
You better remember this. I'm not gonna let you get away with this.
She grabbed the arm of Sally, who was still sobbing, standing there, and then they headed back towards their house. A few days after that, when Pauline came home from school that day, she looked happy as she walked over to me and...
Mommy, we're going out for sushi today.
What? Sushi?
Yeah, you have a reservation at the sushi restaurant on 3rd Street today, right?
Huh? What are you talking about?
What? Because... Well, the kid at that sushi restaurant, they're in the same class as me, right? I told you about this before, didn't I? And today he asked me that I was going to his restaurant today. He said that you had made a private reservation for 30 people there today.
Huh? A private reservation for 30 people? I don't have any memory of that at all.
I immediately called that restaurant, but then he said that it was true, that there was a reservation for a full buyout of the restaurant under my name, and apparently the reservation was for a course totaling $6,000. Oh, wait a minute. What on earth is going on here? But then, it was at that moment, my front doorbell rang. I was in the middle of a phone call, so Pauline went to answer the monitor, but then, after this, the most hilarious thing ended up happening. The reservation for the private buyout of the sushi restaurant was from 6 p.m. In about 10 minutes after 6 p.m., I received a phone call to my cell phone. It was an unknown phone number, but when I put my phone on speaker and I answered the phone,
Hello, it's me, Sarah, your neighbor.
Huh? This is Sarah? Why do you know my phone number?
You exchanged phone numbers with my husband, didn't you? Well, I looked through my husband's phone while he was sleeping. More importantly, I made the reservation for the expensive sushi restaurant under your name, so make sure you pay the cancellation fee.
That's right. The person who was behind the reservation of the sushi restaurant under my name was this woman. It was Sarah. However, today I am going to give her a full counterattack. A counterattack from the sushi restaurant. No, but the payment has already been made on your credit card.
Huh?
By the way, instead of canceling, we're having delicious sushi right now. Thank you so much, old lady.
Huh? What do you mean the credit card was mine? Right now my credit card is inside of this wallet. Wait, it's missing?
Yeah, I made the payment already on your credit card.
That voice, Thomas?
That's right. At the sushi restaurant where I was right now, Thomas was also there. And
I received a phone call from Miss Page that you used her name and phone number and you made a ridiculous reservation here at this sushi restaurant. I hurried up and finished up my work and went home, and while you were taking a nap, I quietly took your credit card out and I came to the sushi restaurant. You seriously better cut it out already. You're causing me way too much trouble. But in return, I'm having some very, very delicious sushi on your credit card right now.
Huh? What the hell are you doing? Even if we're married, for somebody other than the person on the credit card to use the credit card, well, that's a crime.
Excuse me, but regardless, you're unemployed and you're living off of my income. So for me to use your credit card, it should be fine.
You bastard! I'm gonna get a divorce from you, I'm gonna sue you, and I'm going to squeeze every bit of that money out of you.
These two have started getting into a fight. Hey, both of you, do you mind listening to me for a moment here? Actually, Sally was the one that told me that you were the one who made the reservation under my name at the sushi restaurant today.
Huh? Sally did that?
Yes, yesterday night she saw you making the reservation at the sushi restaurant at home and said she was listening. You know how Sally and Pauline are in different classes? She said that during the lunch break at school she was gonna come and talk to Pauline about this, but Sally's stomach started to hurt and she was in the school clinic from the afternoon, and that's why she couldn't tell Pauline about it until after she came home from school. Actually, the person that rang our doorbell earlier was Sally, and after that, Sally told us the contact information of Thomas's mother who lived in the neighborhood, and Pauline and Sally and I just went to Thomas's mother's house earlier and...
Hey, how dare Sally? I just received a phone call that she was at my mother-in-law's house. When she gets home, I need to yell at her. Also, Paige, are you kidding me? Eating expensive sushi with somebody else's money? I'm gonna collect that money from you later. Wait, my mom? Wait, what? What is my mom doing here now?
And that was when the other end of the phone, Sarah's voice changed.
What? Sally contacted you from her grandma's phone? That you heard the whole situation? Oh, that you need to lecture me and make me change? Wait, Mom! Ouch! Where are you taking me? Stop it! Forgive me! Oh!
Just as I thought, I heard Sarah let out a pitiful scream and the phone disconnected. I see. So that means Sally told Sarah's mother everything. Because Sally was saying it earlier, and she can't forgive her mom for trying to make Pauline suffer, but she doesn't want to be her daughter anymore. Even though she's still young, she must have decided to cut off all ties with her own mother.
What is wrong with that woman suddenly yelling like that? Wait! Ow! Ouch!
And before we knew it, standing behind Thomas and grabbing him by the ear was Thomas's mother, and standing next to her was Sally.
Wait, Mom? What on earth are you doing showing up here out of nowhere, huh? What do you mean you just got a phone call from Dad that you found out I'm using all of the company's money?
My goodness, just as I thought, this person was also pretty bad himself. Well, at the point that he was using his wife's credit card without telling her. I already knew he was up to no good.
Because I had to pay for the repair fees for Miss Page's car. And with Sarah and I, in order to buy the cars and all of the other stuff, we were in debt, so I had no choice. Wait! Ouch! Ouch! Stop! Stop dragging me like that! Let me go!
And then Thomas ended up in the same situation as Sarah earlier. Painfully, he was dragged out of the restaurant by his own mother. After that, after all of their fighting, apparently Sarah and Thomas got a divorce. But it was Sally's wish, and she ended up being raised by Thomas's parents. Thomas was fired from his company, and he was even arrested. Up until now, it was discovered that multiple times he had used up a large amount of company money. Apparently, he's spending every day crying and screaming behind bars. And Sarah was also furiously lectured by her mother. And the fact that Sarah hurt their granddaughter that they loved so much, apparently they made her go for training and live in at a super strict temple. On top of that, on the evenings where she didn't have any temple training, she's being forced to work at a factory late at night, and they're making her pay the child support fees to Thomas's parents. She also had to pay back her debt, and even though it's money that she's finally earning herself, she can't use a penny of it for herself. And not only that, because she had never held a proper job before, every single day she's being strictly disciplined by the factory manager and the temple. Not only does she have no time to sleep, apparently her mind and her body have been beaten up, and her skin and her hair are a mess. She's completely gone old. Apparently she looks like a different person entirely. Well, she did this all to herself. Well then, on the other hand, as for me, since the person that was the biggest pain in this residential area was gone, I'm able to live a very satisfying everyday life. And as Pauline and I were eating pudding together, we had this conversation.
That reminds me, today Sally gave me this at school today. She said that she made it with her grandma yesterday.
Oh my, what a cute bracelet.
Sally says that she loves her grandma, and she said that next time I can go over to her house and learn how to make a bracelet with her grandma. It's a promise. I'm gonna make you one too, Mom.
Oh my, thank you. Sally is still living in this neighborhood, and she's such good friends with you. Everything's great, isn't it?
Thank you for watching! What kind of crazy people will we get to see next? Stay tuned for more!